guys, this is Rosa Kelly. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm here with the second part of my fall mini album tutorial. This is a book that I am making using my own digital paper collection, and it is called Gratitude. So you can find that on my website, and I'm gonna have the link down below, and I'm just so excited to see it come together. So we are going to be working on the inside. As you know, we went ahead and you did the cover, and this is going to be a trifold style album. So I'm going to open this up, and we're going to be working on these 2 pages for this book. So for today's tutorial, I'm going to be working on the center right here, and then on the next part we are going to be finishing up with the right side. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So the base of this book is 8.5 by 8.5. So I am going to grab my paper cutter, and we are going to be using for this book 110-pound cardstock. I'm using the craft color. You can definitely use white or any color that you like. And I am going to start with just a base page here. So I'm going to cut these at 8.25 by 8.25. So instead of designing straight onto the book, I am going to be working on this page separately, and then we are going to attach it to the book. And so I'm just gonna put this to the side, and let's go ahead and get started. So I am going to cut a new sheet here at 8.25 by 9 inches. And then I'm going to do another one at 8.25 by 8 inches. Okay, so 2 pieces, and we're going to score these 2 pieces basically the same. Let me grab my paper cutter or scoreboard, sorry. And we are going to score the first one along the 9 inches. I'm going to do 1 inch. Okay, so 1 inch and 1 3/4. And then we're going to fold along those 2 lines. Okay, 1 inch and 1 3/4. And then I'm going to do the same with the other one. Now this time we're going to score along the 8-inch side, 1 inch and 1 3/4. Oops. Okay, and then I'm just going to fold along the score lines here one more time. And then we're going to add these 2 pieces to my base page there. So I'm going to do 1 on each side. So I'm just going to add some glue. Okay, and line this up to the left. Press down. And then I'm going to open this up and press down again. And then we're going to do the same to this other page. I'm just going to line this up here to this side. Okay, and then we're just going to press down. I'm going to move this so I can see how I'm adding this, and there you go. Okay, so as you can see, we will have a 3/4 inch gusset for this section, and this is basically going to stand this way. And I'm going to put the shorter one on the top. Okay, so one will be the 9-inch one, and one will be the 8-inch one. So the shorter one is going to go on the top. And on this case, I think I forgot to say, I do have the shorter one on my left which it doesn't matter which way you glue it, because if you glue it on the right, you can simply turn it over. So let's make sure we have it on the left, and it's going to close on the top. So now I'm going to use this page from my designs, and I am going to cut a piece of 6 by 8. So I am going to start down here and up in here. And I was asked how I print my my paper, so I do have a video sharing how I did that on my baby paper collection. So I'm going to find it and try to link it down below, and it will be basically the same process, how you resize your pictures and how you print them and all of that. Okay, so if I forget to add that video, please do remind me. So I am going to have this one here, and then also I am going to be using this little gratitude font. So I'm also going to cut this paper here at 8 inches, and this is actually going to be by 7 inches. Okay, so 8 by 7, and I am going to add this page on this side here. So this one I'm just going to glue down. Okay, so I'm just gluing that right here, and before I glue this one, I am going to be adding this little piece here. So I'm going to back this up on cardstock, and before I back this up, I'm going to add a magnet here. So I'm just going to add a little magnet, and I'm actually going to, okay, I'm just gonna glue this down right now, but I am going to add a piece of chipboard because my magnet, it's a little bit bulky, and I don't want this image to have this little bulky side. So I'm just gonna glue this down. I'm going to cut a little piece of chipboard here to even out this the magnet in there. So I'm just gonna add that right there, and I think that should be fine. So we're just gonna glue this down, and we're gonna put that right here, and then I'm going to glue this on top. So I'm just gonna add glue here and on top of the magnets. And this is almost like using foam tape, right? Then we're also adding a little bit of dimension on this page as well. And I am going to add a little brad on the back here. So let me go ahead and poke a little hole. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little hole here. I'm gonna hide it behind the text and just do a little brad right there. See, you don't see it, but it's back here. Okay, and now I'm going to trim the extra pieces here for this. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut that and this. Okay, so now we are going to add this piece on the back, and that's gonna be the closure for this side. So I think I'm gonna have it right up here, and my brad is somewhere in there. So I am just going to do a hole right there, and then I'm going to open up these brads and pass it through. Okay, and then I'm just going to close that, and I'm going to secure the brad with some tape. Okay, so we're gonna put this right there. And by the way, I do remember that I'm going to be announcing the winner to the little secret giveaway that I had on part 1. So whoever joined the premiere and left your comments, you were entered onto a giveaway to get a free digital collection from this release, and I will be announcing the winner at the end of the video. So I do have 2 winners, okay, and I'm just so excited. And all you guys have to do is just send me an email, and then I can send you your automatic downloads. I'm just going to open these magnets up. I just got a new set of magnets, and I get these questions all the time. Where do I get my magnets? And I normally get my magnets on Amazon, and I just search 10 by 2 millimeter magnets. So I get a few different options. So I get the 10 by 2, I get the 10 by 1, and then I also get the 8 by 1. So let me show you here the difference. This is the 10 by 2. You can see how this one is thick. I don't know how you can see. There you go. So you can see how this one has a little bit of thickness, but it holds really strong. I really like it. And this is the 8 by 1. So you can see how tiny that is, and it's smaller compared to that. And I do use it. It does work just for smaller little layouts. And then I also get the 10 by 1, which I don't have right now, I think, but it's basically this size, just thinner. So they all work. It just depends on what you need it for. And if you were to just choose one, I would choose the 10 by 2, because this is the one that definitely gets a strong hold, and it does have a little bit of a bulky side to it, which I don't mind. I learned how to work around it, like you see me adding the chipboard there to even out the space. But if that's something that bothers you, you can also use the 10 by 1, and instead of adding 1 magnet, you can add 2 and just make your magnet stronger that way. So as you saw, I put the magnet on the back, and then I'm putting the tape with the sticky side on towards the back where I want to add it, and I'm just making sure this is straight and even. Okay, so I'm just gonna hold the tape, and then I'm going to press down here. And then I'm going to use this piece that I cut at 8 by 6. Okay, and then I'm just going to glue all around. And as I told you, this magnet is bulky. So the way to avoid your paper from wrinkling because of the magnet is you're just going to add your paper, and then you just press around the sides. Okay, don't press too hard on the center, because then you're gonna get the mark from the magnet. Just let it get this gentle slope, and you won't even see the magnets, even though it is bulky in there. You will feel it when you touch it, but you cannot see it, especially if you're going to add this on top. And so yeah, so that is going to be the cover for this side. Now I'm just going to open this up, and we are going to work on the inside. So I'm going to cut 2 pieces of 8.5 by 8 inches, and this is already 8.5, so I don't need to cut that anymore. And I'm going to score at 1/2 inch along the 8.5. Okay, so we're gonna place this onto your scoreboard, and we're going to score at 1/2. And same thing for this one, along the 8.5 inch side, we are going to score at 1/2. And then we're just going to fold along the 2 score lines, and I am going to add these 2 pieces onto my book. So we're going to add one here on the top, and I'm just going to move this over, and add one along the top. Okay, and you want to center this piece within your score lines on the side, or your bending lines on the sides, and then you're going to press down right here like that. Then you're going to open that up, and we are going to add this other one right here as well. So I'm just gonna put this one on the bottom, and then I'm going to press down. Okay, and then we're gonna open this up and press down again, and then we have these two other layouts. I like adding large layouts like this. And now we're gonna work on top of this page right there. So for that, I am going to do 2 pieces here, and these are going to be 8 inches long ways like this, okay, by 10.5. Okay, so 8 inches by 10.5, and then we're going to score. Okay, let's bring this back. We are going to score at 5 inches. It always does that to me, it goes to the side. Okay, so again, we're gonna do 5 and 10 inches. Okay, and then we are going to fold these along the score line. Okay, so 1.5, and then this little one, we're gonna fold it towards us, and there you go. And then we will do the same to the other one. 5. Okay, so I'm trying to make it go straight. When the cardstock is thick like this, sometimes, yeah, it loses the line of track. So I'm going to do now the 10. Okay, so 5 and 10, and then I'm going to fold along the score line and fold here again, and then we are going to add those 2 pieces, and we are going to add these 2 pieces on top of this top flap that we just did. So I'm going to add my glue on this 1/2 inch. Okay, just like that, and we are going to add 1 to the left. Okay, so press down. I'm gonna open that up and press down, and then I'm going to open this up and press down, and then we will do the same to the other side here. Okay, so we are going to add this on the side of the top flap. Okay, so again, I'm going to open this up, make sure this is glued all the way, and then we're going to close and close. Okay, and this is the top flap right there. Now to this, because I want to make sure this stays closed, obviously, I am going to add 2 belts, and these 2 belts are just simply the scrap pieces that I just cut out, which are these ones, oops, right here. So let's go ahead and measure that, and let me put this onto my scoreboard. So these pieces are 8.5 by 3 inches. So I'm going to score this at 1 inch, and this one also at 1 inch. Okay, And then we're going to fold these two pieces along the score lines. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna fold, and we are going to fold. And then these two pieces are going to come from the back. Okay, so we're gonna open this up. These are going to go on the back. So you will put these on here, like that. Okay, so we're gonna open this up and add the 1 inch there on the back. So I'm just going to add the glue and add this on the center, just like that. And then we will do the other one on the other side. I want to make sure these two are even, so I'm going to put my ruler here, and I am going to add this one right there. And then we're going to close this, and these two, let me pull it out a little bit, should both match. And there you go, and they do match right at the center. So now I'm going to add a couple magnets. So I'm just going to grab 2. Whoops. Okay, that didn't work out so well. Okay, so and then we are going to do one here. Okay, so let me cut some tape. And we're going to add one right there. And then this one will be added on top. And there is the other one. So now I'm gonna press this down and just close it right here. And I'm going to hold onto the tape. And there you go. So then we have these little belts on top. So I'm going to use this design here, and this one I did with a white background, so you can probably do journaling on this one. But I'm just going to cut this section out, and I need this to be, I believe this is 3 inches, so I need this to be 2 3/4. Okay, and this is 7.5, so I'm just going to kind of center here and cut these at 7.25. Okay, so this little piece will go right on this belt, and make sure it fits. And it looks like it does, but I think I need to take a little bit off the side. Okay, so just like that. And I'm going to glue this down. Okay, so there we go. We're just gonna add this one right here. Okay, and that's the good thing about digital paper, because then if you want to use this again for a different page, you just go ahead and reprint a new one. And yeah, you don't really run out of paper, and you don't have to decide too much how to place your paper, because you know you can print over and over again. Now for this side and these two sides, for the two sides we're going to do a couple other layouts. So I am going to cut these at 8.25 by 5.5. Okay, 8.25 by 5.5. You need 2 pieces of that, and then we're going to score at 1/2 inch along the 5.5. Okay, so 5.5, 1/2 inch here, and 1/2 inch here. Oops. And then we're going to fold along the score lines these two pieces. Okay, and then we are going to bring this back, open this up, and each one is going to go on one side of this page. So we're going to, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do them on this page here because I want to do a waterfall inside, and I think we have more room on this side. So I'm going to add these two layouts, one on each side, and make sure you are not touching on your bending line. So we're gonna press down, and then this other one here, and we are going to press down, and then you're gonna open that up and press down. So now we have these other layouts. Let me just press down really good in there. Okay, and then we're going to work on the back here. So we're going to be creating a waterfall. So before I do that, I need to cover this page. So I'm going to cut a piece of 8 by 6 3/4. Okay, so let me just bring out my paper, and I think I need something more like a plain background page, and I'm going to use these pink pumpkins. Okay, so 8 by 6 3/4. So let me just cut right here, and then 8 inches. Oops, I think this was already 8, and I said 6 3/4. So I'm going to cut some of the white space out and then count 6 3/4. And now we're just going to place this piece right here. So I'm not gonna glue this just yet. We're gonna work on the waterfall feature. So I'm going to cut 4 pieces of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, so I'm just going to double check. This is 5 1/2, and this is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. Okay, and same thing here, 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. And then I also have here another piece, and this is just 4 1/4 by 11. And now this piece I am going to score. I'm going to place it this way along the 11-inch side, and we're going to score at half and 1, 1 1/2, and 2. And then we are going to fold along the score lines on these 4 sides, and there you go. So now we are going to add these pieces. So I am going to glue each one of these right on each one of these little 1/2 inch lines. So let's start with the first one, and I'm going to do this piece right there. Okay, and then I'm going to do the next one, and I am going to do this piece here. Okay, make sure they are lined up. Okay, so I'm just going to press this down. Then I'm going to do the next one and add this one here. Okay, and then press down, and then we're going to do this last one, and then we're going to add this one down. Okay, so I'm just gonna press in there, and I'm going to wait for this to dry. Press down on both sides, and I'm going to trim this a little bit in here. So along the bottom, I just want about 1 inch from the last piece, and this is going to be a pull down waterfall, so you only need a small pull down. And I don't know if you can tell, but my piece here is smaller than my these pieces here. These were cut at 4 1/4, and I think this one I cut at 4 inches, but you can definitely just do 4 1/4 for that. Then I'm going to use one of my scrap pieces of paper, and I am going to cut these at 5 1/4 by 1 1/4. Okay, 5 1/4 by 1 1/4. And then I am ready to put this together. I'm going to bring back my page. I'm going to work on this one. So I'm just gonna take this out and do this separate first. So we are going to place this right here. See how this is too long? So I'm just gonna trim this a little bit more. So maybe I'm gonna bring this down to 1/2 inch. Okay, so 1/2 inch from the last. And you know what, because mine is 4 inches and this is 4 1/4, I'm just going to even it out and cut the extra, which you definitely don't have to do. Okay, so here you go. Now it looks nice and clean. I have a little bit of OCD when it comes to that type of stuff. Okay, so here we have all of our pages, and the last one is your pull down. So I'm going to hold the last one down, and we are going to open that up, and then we're going to glue this piece here on each side. So I am going to add glue on each side just a little bit and create these belly bands. So I'm going to put this probably about 1 inch from the edge of the page to the top right there. Okay, so I'm only gluing on this little belt, and then I am going to add my glue on the belt only on the section behind the waterfall. Okay, so just on this area right there, and then we're going to close this, and that is where this is going to sit. Now I'm going to use two brats, and we are going to add the brats to secure this belt. Okay, so I'm just going to add a hole right here and add one of these brats, and then close this from the back and secure that with some tape. Okay, and then we're gonna do the same on this side. Now I'm going to make sure this is even to the other brats, which sometimes is hard to do. I always just eyeball this, but you can definitely pencil mark the center. Okay, so I'm just gonna put that one there, and then we're going to open that up and add my tape, and there you go. So now if you pull down on the last one, you will have this cute little pop-up waterfall, which is one of the first pop-up interactive pieces that I learned how to do, and I still love it just as much. Okay, so there we go. And now we're gonna glue this down. So all of these will go in here. So I'm going to peel off this tape, peel off the tape here and here. And then I'm going to add my glue. And there you go. So now I'm just going to glue this down on my page. And there you go. We are done with this layout. Now I'm going to do magnets here as well. Okay, so I'm going to be adding some design paper. I decided I'm not going to add any layouts on this left side because this is already getting a little bit bulky and we still have to add the paper and the pictures. So I'm going to cut these at 4 3/4 by 8 inches. And I think this one is going to go on these sides right there. Whoops. Yeah, I think I like how that one looks, and I might do this one here, but I think I'm going to print a new sheet. That way I have enough room for all of that. And I'm just going to glue this down. And okay, so now for this side, I'm going to cut this one at 8 by 6. So I am just going to make sure this is 6 inches here. And then we are going to glue this one on these sides right there. Okay, so I'm just going to add this one, and then you can add a larger picture here as well. Oops, upside down. Okay, so we're just going to add this here, and then for the center I am going to use, I think I'm going to use the pink page to give it a little contrast. So again, this one is going to be 8 by 5 3/4. Okay, so I'm going to do this right here, and then 5 3/4, no, 4 3/4, sorry. Okay, and I'm going to need 2 of these as well, so I'm just going to open this up, and we're going, oh, this is smaller. Okay, so this will be not 8 but 7 3/4. I realize this is the one that we have the opening. This one opens up and down. I almost already forgot. Okay, so I'm going to do another one of these and just add it on the other side. Okay, so let me clean this up. And so yeah, I really hope that you guys had fun making this with me. I hope that you're finding this little series tutorials interesting, and I can inspire you to craft something new today. And I'm going to come back with the next parts on this series. I'm going to print out a couple more to add in here. And now let me go ahead and announce the winners to the giveaway. So congratulations to Ilaria and to Michelle. Thank you so much for being part of the premiere, and thank you everyone watching the tutorial. Please don't forget to share, leave a comment, and I will be selecting 2 more winners from the comments on this video. And I think it's just fun to have hidden giveaways like this. Thank you so much everyone for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.